Have been a long way gone.
Walk was of medium build with a couple of special features.
And Daddy he was a handsome guy, you know, and had a gold tooth.
And Daddy always had a scar right here in the middle of his head. And that scar was caused from getting thrown from a horse. In fact, I remember the name of the horse. It's called Old Butler. Well, him and Uncle Birch were riding from the fields going back home. Well, Daddy was riding Old Butler, and of course he had him running as fast as he'd go. And when the horse turned into those people's driveway, well, Daddy didn't make the turn. He just went straight ahead right into the middle of an oak tree, knocked a hole in his head up here, knocked his front tooth out. You know, he always had a gold tooth. When Daddy started having to wear dentures, he had a gold put on the one tooth up there.
Well, my dad was a man of few words, probably. He wasn't all that much of a conversationalist that I remember.
One of my cousins tried to get him going on something all the time. My dad, you know, here's a card, and he said what he meant and meant what he said. You know, he'd say, "Uncle Walk," he said, "is Flo a mechanic?" He said, "No, he don't know nothing. He drive the hell out of them." And he about right, you know. That's about all I.
Well, he was always a likable person. Everybody liked Walk too, I'll never forget. Elmer used to say, "Well, Walker won't ever have nothing because he'll give away. He'd give him by the last penny he had. You know, he would. He's believed in working, and nothing was ever too hard for him to do, I don't reckon."
In his teens, Walk became a skilled mechanic. He could repair a Model T Ford along with the best mechanics of the day. By the time he was 21, he was most likely the only young man his age to own one of these vehicles.
Oh yeah, he worked for the WPA. It's a program that President Roosevelt set up back just after the Depression. The government spent money just to put people to work.
What kind of work did he do for him?
Well, he worked a grader. He could a big grader on the roads and stuff like that.
We always thought that Daddy could do anything, I guess. And I remember him mostly as a mechanic, and he worked uptown in the Parks Motor Company, I think. And,
Daddy went back to doing mechanic work, and he performed mechanic work for most of his life, I guess. He was one of the few experts on the Ford automobiles.
He was a mechanic down here in Lawrenceburg, and everybody knew him. And he could take it. You take it to Walker Murdock, he'd take it for a real ride, and he'd tell you what's wrong with it. You know, his dad was that good. He was good.
And actually, they say that he was one of the first single guys to ever have an automobile in Lawrence County.
Well, now he was a good brother.
yes, he was. He was
He'd taken up for us, of course. He thought somebody mistreated us, he'd jump.